Hi, and welcome, everybody. I'm Ross Benjamin of RBWins.com. Once again, I'm joined by my Monday partner. We started our show last week, Mr. Doug Upstone from Doc Sports. And Doug, we got off to a great start last week, going 2-0 on the show on Monday. Hopefully, we'll continue that today. How was your July the 4th?
It was actually it was nice to get off to a great start. The only problem is at least I got lucky because my pick got rained out. Stuck with it as I told you, and it still came in, so that was good despite a pitching change. But no, everything was great. In Peoria, Arizona, here they have a nice little deal where the Mariners and the Padres play spring training baseball, and so they have a bunch of fields and they have live music and they have fireworks and everything else there. And now I know you're a little bit of a music guy, and
I'm a big music guy, actually, Doug.
Well, you remember the band, the Refreshments?
I do not.
Okay, late 90s. Well, they got a new, they kind of redid their band and stuff like that. They're actually from Arizona, and they were the featured act at the thing last night. And so anybody that knows the Refreshments, the name of the song is Banditos. And if you hear it, you'll know immediately. You just would never equate it that way. But so it was a lot of fun. Now, how about you, Ross?
Spent time with the family. You know, my mom is, God rest her soul, 80 years old, and she's still alive. And she had us all over for dinner. She cooked up a storm, spent time with my brothers, and it was just a nice, relaxing, enjoyable July the 4th, just the way I like it. You know, I've done the whole thing with going to see a band and all that. Got to mix it up a little bit.
There you go.
You know, as you well know, I do book bands here locally as a part-time business. So I get my fair share of music throughout the course of the year, and I enjoy it, Doug, you know. But as a time with family is very important, as you well know, having a big family yourself. So anyway, Doug, anything do you want to, we're going to be talking about Major League Baseball schedule on July 6th. We're recording on Monday the 5th. So please keep that in mind. We are going to give you free MLB picks for tomorrow. These lines are subject to change depending on when you view the video. But in any event, Doug, before we get to the picks, anything on your mind in the world of sports betting you'd like to discuss with us?
Yeah, well, one thing, Ross, that comes to mind, and, it seems like it's just more so this year than ever. But I looked at some of the home road records of a few different teams, and some of them are just absolutely striking. Specifically, I'll bring up Colorado, the Cubs, and Philadelphia. Now, the Rockies, 6-31 on the road. Okay, I don't recall at this point in the season ever seeing anything like that. I've searched for some of the Elias stats, their online stuff or their things on Twitter, but haven't found anything. But that has to be about as bad as it gets. But yet they're 31-17 at home. The Cubs, 26-13 at home, 16-29 on the road, which includes a current 9-game losing streak. And then Philadelphia coming in at 24-16 at home and 15-26 on the road. Now, to understand what that means is, or to take it one step further, the swing difference. Okay, so what they're winning by at home versus what they're losing by on the road. For example, the Cubs are plus 1.2 at home. Okay, minus 1.1 on the road, so that's 2.3. Philadelphia, their swing 1.9, and the Rockies, Ross, 4.0. 4.0.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's just nuts. So what does that mean to bettors? Okay, and anybody betting baseball? Well, sometimes, you know what? It's best not to overthink your wagering. Okay, the first inclination would be looking at any of these teams. Okay, whatever they're home or away, to be playing on or playing against them. Now, like you, Ross, I'm not saying that's absolute. Okay, I'm saying you should look for that. Then you also have to consider the handicapping steps you normally would take, like starting pitchers, bullpens, current form. But by and large, okay, I think the first thing you should do is just say, hey, you know what? This team possible play against. Let me find a reason that I'm wrong to think that. So that's my 2 cents there, Ross. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great point, and I think that's all great stuff, Doug, by the way, because I do the same thing. Colorado, they started 1-4 at home beside Doug. So I
Right.
think they're like 30-13 in their last 43 at home. And like Doug alluded to, 6-31 on the road. What a disparity. Now, look, they've always been better at Coors Field for obvious reasons, especially offensively, for obviously reasons, I should say. And the Cubs are they're hard to figure out, Doug. I mean, they're so good at home. And like you just alluded to, lost 9 in a row on the road. They can't score on the road. It's amazing. And Philadelphia have been terrible on the road, not only this year, but last year as well. And that's hard to figure too. So I call those indicators, Doug, where these home and away dichotomies, as you would call them, and you spot them right off the bat, and then you look a little deeper. But right off the bat, when you see these teams home or away, and comparing it to the statistics that you just touched upon, you should be able to right off the bat look for a reason to use that team. Now, having said that, as Doug touched upon, neither one of us are married. Any good handicapper, I should say, that does this daily and on a professional level doesn't marry themselves to one aspect of handicapping. And what I mean by that, there's no easy way to do things. Okay. So even though Colorado is 6-31 on the road, look at the starting pitching matchup, look at who they're playing, the bullpen statistics. There's a lot involved, but those are true indicators, Doug. And that's really good stuff because I was going to bring up something similar that I'm not even going to touch upon now because you hit every point there. So brilliant mind things alike, for lack of a better phrase. Doug, how you doing at Doc Sports? A great site, by the way, folks. DocSports.com. A lot of great handicappers, including Doug Upstone. And Doug, you were doing very well in Major League Baseball as of last week. Has that continued?
Yeah, well, I am the first to admit, Ross, and you know what? Transparency is the number one thing in this business.
Yeah.
If you really want to be successful, I had a couple of days. Okay, they weren't very good. Okay, I had a couple losses and a couple surprise losses, frankly. But you know what? You do this every day, that's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Nevertheless, bounce back yesterday. Took 2 out of 3 on Sunday. So 67-40 of late. I'll take that to the bank all day long. Okay. A little over 9,000 units. I think it works out to be about, in terms of just flat betting, a little over $3,300. Okay. Of just playing it straight up. So it's been very good, Ross. And I'm going to try and continue, as we go along, give out the free pick in a little bit. Hopefully that can add to somebody some money in their pockets and come up with some other stuff then too. Now, how about yourself?
I'm doing great, Doug. Thank you for asking. 9-3 with my last 12 in Major League Baseball. Right now it's sportsmemo.com, which I'm a part of. I'm number 1 in Major League Baseball, number 1 overall handicapper in 2021 in terms of money earned. At sportscapping.com, another site that you were part of at one time. 75 handicappers being monitored there. I'm number 5 in the NBA this season. So it's been a nice run for me. Cooled off a little bit after a 3-month torrid run, but regained my focus a bit over the last week, 9-4 with my last 13 overall. So it's been great. I'll have a 10-star top play, by the way, folks, in game 1 of the NBA Finals tomorrow. You can get that at my website, rbwins.com, or any of the sites I just alluded to. My 10-star top plays in all sports have done very well. 67-43 with my last 110. That's 60%. And Doug, as you well know, a lot of people say, I can do 60%. I don't need you for that. Well, let me monitor you for a couple months and we'll see where that goes. But anyway, Doug, you have anything in the NBA Finals for tomorrow?
Yeah, you know what? I'm still actually working on that, Ross, to be perfectly honest with you. There's just, and of course, for me, there's only one holdup. Okay. It's Giannis.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the whole thing. And so, just off the top of my head, I like the Bucks with the points. Okay. If he does not play, if he does play, the line's going to come down. I would guess 2.5 to 3 points, just guessing. So that changes the dynamics. The one thing, though, that I would probably lean towards tomorrow, these are 2 of the best offensive teams and 2 of the best defensive teams in the NBA. and their previous two games were more offensive minded. I think that can continue again. So I'd be right now, I guess an additional free pick here. I'd be leaning towards the over on that in game one, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the two meetings this year, I believe Phoenix won both.
Yes,
But
by a
by
single
1 point margins, 127, 126, 126, 125, if I recall, right, Doug?
Yep,
Or
that sounds
somewhere in
right.
that area. So, yeah, very good point on Doug's part. I can tell you, folks, tomorrow, if you purchase that pick, you're going to see that I have an NBA Finals Game 1 betting angle since 2005 that's gone 13-0 against the spread. So I'm a true believer in my technical aspect of handicap. And again, I don't marry it myself to just one aspect. But when I see a strong angle like that comes up on my 4D handicapping software, I certainly don't ignore it. And then there's other contributing factors that made me lean the way I'm going tomorrow night, Doug. In any event, Doug, we're going to give out a couple Major League Baseball free picks for tomorrow. We're going to start with you, and I'll let you take it away.
All right, here we go. We got the St. Louis Cardinals are at the San Francisco Giants. And I just had mentioned before about home road dichotomies. Well, instead of individual teams, I'm going to give you one for each, okay, in this case. St. Louis just lost 3 out of 4 at Colorado. Not, as it turns out, not a big surprise the way the Rockies are playing at home. However, in those 3 losses, the Cardinals scored a grand total of 2 runs in each game, okay? Horrible. At Coors Field, no less.
Besides,
2 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost hard to do, to be perfectly honest. And I know, I gotta get his name right, German Marquise. I know he's their all-star, okay? But nobody else from the Rockies pitching is going to the all-star game, or even be thought of at any point, okay, the rest of the season. So it's not. So the Cardinals, they're averaging 3.9 runs per game in the season. They're not hitting. That's why they're 18-26 on the road. Now, where are they going? They're going to AT&T Park to face the Giants, who are 26-11 at home. They have been sterling in their own ballpark. Now, Adam Wainwright, he's going to take the ball for the Cardinals to toe the slab first, and he's had 5 strong starts for St. Louis. Hard to disagree with. Unless you consider the fact that the Giants are averaging 5.1 runs per game versus right-handed starters this season. And I would not be at all surprised if they get some hits, get Buster Posey, maybe even taking one deep, and all of a sudden got some runs going. Johnny Cueto is going for for Frisco, and he with the combination, him and his teammates are 5-2 at home this year. And when the Giants are a favorite of -110 or higher this season at home, 22-6, Ross. Wow. I got the San Francisco Giants minus the 130 on Tuesday night to take care of business against the Cards.
Yeah, that's a great value considering San Fran with their home record and the disparity of home and away records between the two clubs. And I think Adam Wainwright is the one who's keeping that line down. But I will say this, Doug, and correct me if I'm wrong, Wainwright, over the last few years, as opposed to early in his career, the dichotomies between his home starts and away starts, he's not nearly as strong on the road. So if there's a vulnerability in his arsenal, it's been on the road. Doug, you stole a little bit of my thunder, but that's okay because I'm going to look at the Colorado Rockies. They're going to be on the road taking on Arizona. One of those games where you hold your nose because they both stink, as you well know, Doug. And look, again, Doug touched upon this. The Rockies 6-31 on the road this season. John Gray will get the start for Colorado. John Gray, probably one of the pitchers who has really mastered the art of pitching at Coors Field, but for whatever reason on the road, he hasn't been able to be nearly as effective. As a matter of fact, this year, 0-5 in his team starts on the road with a 5.70 ERA and a 1.69 ERA. Now, Arizona, if you look at how they've been doing of late, as Doug well knows, they've been absolutely horrible. But one guy that has been very good for the Diamondbacks pitching staff of late anyway is Merrill Kelly. He's 3-0 in his last 3 team starts with a 1.80 ERA, a 0.90 WHIP. And since 2019, Arizona is going to be coming off a day off. They're not playing tonight. And off a day off since 2019, 26-12. Again, 2 terrible teams. I'm going to go with the home team with the better starting pitcher. I'm going to take Arizona, the Arizona Diamondbacks minus 118 over the Colorado Rockies on Tuesday, July 6th. Again, Doug Upstone likes the San Francisco Giants minus 130. Ross Benjamin, yours truly, on the Arizona Diamondbacks minus 118 on Tuesday, July 6th. And folks, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. For Doug Upstone and Ross Benjamin, take care, good luck, and God bless.